We've got the Valiant Comics booth. We're very excited to be here. That's what we're here for. We're here with all this amazing product. We are a publisher. Do you know the history of Valiant? The history of Valiant is started in 1990 by a group of ex-Marvel employees, including a man named Jim Shooter, a very famous man in comics, the editor-in-chief of Marvel. They felt that Marvel had lost their way a little bit, had stopped focusing on characters and great stories, so they splintered off. They formed Valiant. A lot of the key executives, Bob Layton, Barrington Smith, a lot of the big guys at Marvel came over here, and they focused on kind of the tenets that created Marvel. Stan Lee's tenets for storytelling. Tremendously successful, 80 million comics sold, tons of awards, Publisher of the Year, eventually sold to a big video game company, Acclaim Entertainment. Fast forward to now, we've relaunched the brand in 2012. We've had a lot of success in keeping with what they did, great storytelling. We've got a ton of awards. This Harvey's, for instance, we were the most nominated. We had the most nominated book, Quantum and Woody, at the Harvey's. And we're here at New York Comic Con, seeing the fans and getting the word out and making new fans.
Awesome. So kind of as a company moving forward with basically what's essentially a new universe, how would you differentiate yourself from, say, like, for example, DC's now 3-year-old reboot,
Yep.
the New 52. How would you differentiate your relaunch from that?
Yeah, well, there's a number of differences. So first of all, we keep the line very small. So we have 9 titles a month at the moment, and that shrinks and grows periodically, but it doesn't balloon to 50 or 60 or 80 titles. And we do that because we want to keep the quality of each title as high as possible. Our goal with each book is to make it the best book we can make it, and hopefully one of the best books, if not the best book, that comes out that week, that month, whatever. The characters also themselves, we focus very much on the characters, on the storytelling. That's our differentiating factor. I think we've had a lot of success with that. We've been able to garner a lot of big creators, a lot of very talented creators. They come over to us now because they want to tell great stories. That's nice to see. We have some of the best editors in the business, Warren Simons, Alejandro Arbona, Josh Johns. So it's really a differentiation by quality. And then the storytelling itself, we don't have a corporate parent. We don't have short-term goals. We have to hit quarterly earnings. So we can tell stories that take a long game to pay off. We can tell stories that hopefully are different than the big two. Maybe the constraints that they have from the conservative nature of a big parent doesn't allow them to tell those stories. So we have a much more diversified line that way.
Awesome. Is there anything you want to toss in for our viewers?
Yes, you should check out Quantum Woody. It's an amazing book. It's basically 2 idiots get superpowers and they have a pet goat. It's one of my favorite books. I think it's awesome. I think anyone that reads it will love it.
How did you get your start with Valiant?
I was a big fan of Valiant actually when I was like 12, 13 years old, and I was reading the books as they were coming out. There's actually a picture that the guys have of me. I think I was 12 years old, and my mom had baked me a cake, and the cake had a picture of the Valiant logo. Not one of the characters, but like just the company logo. I was that big a fan. And then as the characters got bought by a big video game company and mismanaged, I always felt like the potential wasn't fulfilled. And I just felt like if someone didn't come along and reignite this and remind people what great characters these were, they were going to disappear. So
did you buy Iron Man and Exo Manowar on the PlayStation?
Yes, I did. It's not a great game. I bought it, I played it, I loved it, but it has not aged well.
But you just had to.
I had to.
It had to be complete.
I am a completist. I'm a Valiant completist. One of everything.
The ties with Acclaim are completely cut off. You guys. Who owns Turok now? The comic rights.
So Valiant was launched with a number of Gold Key characters. Gold Key from the 50s and 60s. Turok is one of those characters. It was never owned by Valiant. It was licensed to Valiant. Before we got involved, the license had lapsed. So I think Turok, the license is splintered. The rights are splintered with a couple of different people. I'm not exactly sure. I've heard rumors of DreamWorks Animation and Random House and a bunch of different people. But we have all the new characters, all the original characters that were created by Valiant. About 2,000 characters, all the big ones, Exo Manowar, Harbinger, Bloodshot, Archer Armstrong, Shadow Man, plus the acclaimed characters like Quantum and Woody, Troublemakers, Trinity Angels, all those guys. It's a big universe, a lot of fun to be able to play with.
Awesome. Anything else you want to toss in?
I think that's great.
Awesome, cool. Thank you, man.
Thank you, man.
I have a question.
Thanks, man. You're a big Valiant fan, huh? You know this stuff.
I'm the bigger Valiant fan,
Yeah?
I think.
You have to fight it out.
I just know about obscure video game crap.
You do know about obscure video.
That was an amazing question.
By the way, you have a very